Hello, everybody. We are coming off one of the biggest days in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes history. How's everybody doing today? As you can see, we are actually not live. I pushed back my stream so that Caracal, Yoder, and those other content creators could get their streams out of the way and so that I could interact, have a good time with them. And I was thinking, when was the last time Troopers on Break did a video? So I said, you know what? Let's make a video for those of you that don't want to watch an hour long stream, hearing me ramble on and on and on and on. Now you only have to hear me ramble for about 20 minutes. So we got some news on the Revenge of the Sith era. And I think there's a lot of interesting things to point out. So it's Revenge of the Sith. This is where the fun begins. We got some insight. I'm just going to go through it. If you guys want to read the whole thing, you can. We got confirmation on 6 marquee characters. 6. And I think that's going to be quite interesting because last era with the Bad Batch, the one with the canceled event and everything, we're not going to get into it. 6 marquee units. First 2 have been confirmed as Oppo, the one that told Bail Organa and Revenge of the Sith to, yeah, hey, get back in your bike. Hey, you gotta get out. You gotta slide out. And then we got CX2, which is the clone assassin from Bad Batch. So they give us him here, but they're not going to give it to us during Bad Batch. Anyways, and then we have 2 more dark side clones that are unknown. And then we have 2 Jedi Vanguards. So all of us were speculating on a whole Jedi Vanguard team, all that, everything. That's not the case. Only 2 Jedi Vanguard marquee characters. And here's the best line ever. The 4 new dark side clone troopers are designed to thrive together under Lord Vader's leadership. And so Lord Vader's finally going to get the team that he should have gotten originally 3 years later. But hey, CG, it's okay. It's better to do it now than never. It's better to do it now than never. But we also have the legendary, there's a nice little audio here, and it reveals that we are getting a legendary Mace Windu. How is he going to be different from the Mace Windu we already have? I'm not gonna lie, chat. He'll probably just have a robe on. That's going to be the only difference between that Mace Windu. Probably. I'm not gonna lie. But then we get info on the raid, Lord Vader raid. There is something that irritates me, but let me get to it. Relive the harrowing events of Order 66, where Lord Vader, alongside his elite division known as Vader's Fist, stormed the Jedi Temple. Players must race against time to attempt to rescue as many Jedi as possible from the onslaught. So it's like a rescue mechanic and basically before enraged. Okay. Hopefully it's not endless waves of 501st troopers like the B1s and the droidicas and the staffs. I don't CG, please. Please. It's a good day. It's a good day. While we don't have any additional information to provide at this time, the new raid will be open to these units. New Bad Batch squad, era of Revenge of the Sith characters. So that is basically all these characters right here, as well as Transmission Lost. I will get to that in a second after we finish going over this. Here's the line that really grinded my gear, and I'm going to take some time. They call it the Lord Vader raid. While Lord Vader is the ideal leader for the dark side clones, he himself will not be allowed unit in the raid. Instead, Grand Moff Tarkin will be receiving a rework in an upcoming release to bring him back into relevance. He will lead the dark side clones in the raid as well as in general for players who don't yet own Lord Vader. And this is massive because you know what this reminds me of, chat? Royal Guard. This is a perfect example of Royal Guard. I believe that was the last full on rework we got. And this is not an Omicron like Zalabar or anything like that. They said rework. And my prediction is they are going to rework his leader ability for clones. And then we're getting something called era battles. So these are going to be There's one for the clone troopers that you acquire, and one for the two Jedi Vanguards that you're going to acquire. Was an Era Battle. Era Battles are similar to Assault Battles, but for limited time players during and shortly after the Associated Era, and requiring Era obtained units. Okay. Era battles will live alongside assault battles. Oh, interesting. Also, little note here. There we got our 4 focus datacrons for this next round of datacrons. So, focus datacrons are for Boba Fett, Simon Django, Dr. Aphra, Hera Syndulla, and Zalabar. The one that I am going to point out for everybody, no matter where you are in the game, Hera Syndulla. A lot of people have a Relic Phoenix, especially with Rex. And we even got a slight preview of that Datacron right here. Look at that level 6 mechanic. Looks like they're bringing back 25% turn meter as well. If there are no Galactic Legends at the start of the encounter, Kanan Jarrus is immune to instant defeat effects, and other Phoenix allies cannot be defeated while Kanan is active. And again, chat, remember, these are going to have locked stats. You cannot re-roll these. You cannot scrap these. Nothing of the sort like that. So, very interesting. And one last thing to remind you guys of, there will be 3 level 9 character mechanics. And then you're still getting the faction mechanic. So, I'm quite interested by this because if Ezra is the locked one, or is there going to be another option? That's what I'm curious about. Second and foremost, when we get these Datacrons, they already said it was going to be more expensive. I need to know how much more expensive they are. That's why I want to find out. That's why I'm interested to see. But yeah, that's about it that we got on the Revenge of the Sith era, basically. And now I am going to go into the speculation. And so this is when you guys got to put on your, well, we can't afford tinfoil. So this is where you got to put on what we call the packing paper hat. You got to put that on, chat, and lock in, because here's my theory crafting, and here's my thoughts. How is it called the Lord Vader raid, but we can't use Lord Vader? Just Order 66, it's just sort of kind of would make sense. You already had the Empire shooting down scout troopers in the Endor raid. You already had the Separatists, Darth Maul and Darth Sidious, taking on the B1s and Droidekas and Staps and the Naboo raid. Couldn't give us that. But second and foremost, something that I think is really something being looked over right now, those units we are allowed to use, I think the Inquisitors are a perfect faction for this raid, and I think it makes sense to line up with that Inquisitor LSB that recently came out. Because we're like, man, these LSBs are coming out at quite interesting time. I don't know. Usually they do one in November. They make some for like Christmas and stuff. And then they'll make the Christmas ones giftable in February. And then by then we will get new ones not until May the 4th. However, they did some earlier, and I believe they are doing that to try to get people to get their Inquisitors up and running. I bet it'll be back around during May the 4th. And I think they're doing that because this will be their throwing us a bone team that we are going to get for the Revenge of the Sith raid. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's not accurate. Not all of them were there, yada, yada, yada. To that, I say, did we see Keller and Beckett anywhere in Phantom Menace? Nope. 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 And again, we are going to be taking on the Empire, but we had B1s, Magna Guards, Droidekas, B2s, New Gunray, Darth Maul, and Darth Sidious taking on the Separatist army. The ones that are supposed to be supporting it. So I would not take that out of question. I think it's going to be the Inquisitorius that are going to be another unit. As for the last unit, there's been some speculation. It could be Tarful and some Wookiees, like Clone Wars Chewbacca. Maybe you put them with Jedi Vanguard, something like that. I don't see that happening per se. I thought of it. I thought it was an interesting idea, but I just really do not see that happening in this specific raid. Now, as for the Jedi Vanguards that we already have, the interesting thing is they did not mention which Jedi Vanguards we're going to use. Obviously, we're going to be able to use Jocasta. Obviously, we're going to be able to use Mace Windu. My question is this: what are we gonna be able to use from the Naboo raid? Because all these Jedi, basically, if I'm correct, we were able to use in the Naboo raid. So it's gonna be interesting that they gave them all these Jedi that we have in the raid, the Jedi Vanguard tag, but they don't want too much overlap. So I wonder if they're not going to use any of these, and we only have that one Jedi Vanguard team, and then I just don't know. I don't see how it is going to go in that aspect. We just are gotta wait and see. Again, this is all speculation. None of this is confirmed. Which leads me to my next point, which I am willing to be a betting man. I will bet not my life, but wow. Come on, Grogu. Clean that up. All right, this is perfect. Thank you. I am willing to bet Grogu's life on it that the other two characters that we are getting for the Jedi Vanguards acquired in the era. Let's bring you guys on down, and because they give us a nice little hint right inside the post, is you are going to use the Jedi Vanguards from the era of Revenge of the Sith and arrest Darth Sidious or try to. I am the Senate. And there are four Jedi that went to arrest Palpatine: Kit Fisto, Mace Windu, Agent Kolar, and Sashi Tin. Those are the four Jedi. We already have Kit Fisto. We're getting the legendary Mace Windu. I can safely bet we will get Sashi Tin and Agent Kolar as the two Jedi Vanguards solely because of this statement by them. Now, leading into the good news, and I think my favorite part about what their post was about, Tarkin rework. Tarkin is a character, especially if you have Lord Vader, you have him at high relics. Where are you at, Tarkin? You have him at high relics. I just applied his Zeta on stream yesterday. It doesn't look great right now, but I am fully invested in this. And I am actually, in fact, going for Lord Vader. And that is my current journey right now. I'm not going to go too heavy on it. I'm just going to finish up some relics. I'll get Echo to relic 7 like he's needed. All that we need then are these two, and then the Y Wing, which we don't need to talk about that, chat. But, anyways, my point is I think them doing a rework on Tarkin, they're making money from it because they're selling us four marquee characters to put with him. I think it's going to be interesting, and them saying that he's going to be the leader of those clones tells me distinctly that they're reworking his leader ability. So I'm very thrilled and excited to see what exactly they are going to do. And now a lot of people are saying, but he's going to, the clones are supposed to thrive under Lord Vader, so he's going to be useless once you get Lord Vader. Ha ha ha. You fools. I got you again. They said that it will be under Lord Vader, correct. But in 3v3, you can only have two clones. Those other two dark side clones, I would love to see get decent work done. I would say make it a B plus A tier team with Tarkin. I think that'd be really interesting and really exciting to see. So that when it comes to 3v3, you're not having two clones sit on the sideline. Instead, you have two with Lord Vader, two with Tarkin. And I think that is something that people are overlooking and something that we should appreciate Capital Games doing for us. Now, I've given all of this good news and excitement. I am thrilled. We are going to do as much as we can as a community to get these up and running on this account. I have two concerns. These focus datacrons. One, are they going to start tying focus datacrons for the clones behind the marquee event? Because the whole point of focus datacrons, you can use them starting at as low as gear 5. doesn't do much if you're gonna be wailing on the character. You're most likely gonna take them up above and beyond Gear 5. So are they gonna tie focus Datacrons behind that? My second and final thought on the concerns for this era. Will it be a fun, engaging raid? Will it be exciting? Will it immerse me back into Revenge of the Sith? Will it take me back and I'll be like, oh my, wow, oh no, Lord Vader's there, right? That is what I want. I want to have fear that when I see Lord Vader, I'm like, oh yeah, it's over. It's done. We're done for. That is what I'm hoping for out of this era. And that's going to lead me to my conclusion. CG, you fumbled the ball on the first era. Scratch that. You threw the ball out of the stadium in the wrong direction. But having said that, you have, I would say, a majority of the community's favorite era. You're off to a great, great start. Do not mess this up. Do not mess this era up. Give us what we want. Do not have bugs day one. And just engage, communicate. This rework for Tarkin, though it's going to be for something that we have to pay for, it's great. We love this. This is something that gets us excited. We are thrilled. Everyone in the community is hyped about it. Just please, this is a good first step. I'm going to give you a clean slate after the Sad Batch era. I'm going to give you a clean slate. That's in the past. We're done. You guys just redeemed yourself. You just leveled it out. You made it even 50-50. Okay. What are you going to do now? And that is up to you. So, everyone, going to say today, I am very interested to hear all of your thoughts. Thank you again for everyone being here. I will be streaming later today. If you catch it, great. If not, I'll see you another time. Thank you again for everyone being here. Leave your comments below what you think, your speculations. Are my theories dumb? Am I out of line? Is Grogu better than me at Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? Do I look like Kylo Ren? Here. Do I look like Kylo Ren? You guys let me know in the comments below. Make sure you leave a like. And thank you again. And it's always great to be on break.